Foodies Radio! We have a great show for you today. We will be speaking with Joe Escalante of the Vandals about their upcoming Australian trip. Plus, we'll discuss comfort foods and beverages.
Unlucky 17, already handed plans for the future. Glamour obsessed, taught how to dress, and shown how to think. And I don't have a job, but I can show you how to be a slave. So many days wasted and graced. Sometimes I laugh out loud as I think about you asking me, please can you help? Can't help myself. I'm not your savior. I'm not who you want me to be. A cowardly mistake I made so many times before, refusing to break. Cut my losses, dancing with you. Like a good boy, I'll pretend and promise not to do it again. Do you remember when life was so simple and permanent? Everyone's changed, everyone's cool, everyone sucks, but I can't seem to complain. Exciting and who's just not there? You're getting scared. I'm not your savior. Never thought I was anyway. I'm a boy with empty promises that backs out late. Never said I'd change. Taking back the words that we spoke, like a fuel tank running dry. You'll believe it when I choke. You'll believe it when I choke.
You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Here are your hosts, Steve Guerrero, Kevin Wells, Brian Reinhardt, and the asshole in charge, Xander T.
And welcome to another episode of Punk Rock Foodies Radio here on punkrockradio.net. That was No Use for a Name, Not Your Savior. My name is Kevin Wells.
What's up? I'm Steve Guerrero.
And I'm Xander T, the asshole in charge at Punk Rock Foodies. Punk Rock Foodies is a Facebook group, if you were unaware. It's started in 2013. If you like kick-ass meals, eating kick-ass meals, making kick-ass meals, listening to kick-ass punk rock music, then check us out on Facebook. I am joined by Kevin Wells, Steve Guerrero, and Brian Reinhardt.
Good afternoon, guys. Good to be back here with you at the Pig. Hello to all the millions and billions of listeners that we obviously have worldwide and galaxy-wide. Before we get going, I just want to say that I love the fact that you three never disappoint. Every week, you somehow get uglier.
It's not.
I don't know how you do it. But it makes the rest of us look good, so I appreciate that.
Up now is Against Me with Black Me Out.
I don't ever wanna talk that way again. I don't wanna know people like that anymore. As if there was an obligation, as if I owed you something. Black me out. I wanna piss on the walls of your house. I wanna chop those brass rings off your fat fucking fingers. As if you were a kingmaker. As if, black me out.
But then you realize that the war inside has just begun. Cause everything that rises must initially fall. And that's the day I wonder whether or not you do anything at all. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, 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 Coyote Road is the only road that I have known. Like the soul without you when you're gone. Sometimes it's best to just leave it alone. When the whip is cracking at your heels and the dogs are chasing speed. your soul. Whoa, whoa, whoa. On Coyote Road was the only road that I have known. Life is all without you when you go. Sometimes it's best to just leave it alone. When the whip is cracking at your heels and your dogs are chasing spinning wheels, can't describe how thin it feels. Sometimes alone, sometimes alone, sometimes alone. On Coyote Road.
All right, that was the Bastard Sons with Coyote Road. That brings us into episode 2. Welcome, everybody. We're here at the Vicious Pig Saloon with Brian, Kevin, and Xander. What's going on?
Hey, man, how you doing? It's been a busy week, huh? Yeah, Vicious Pig Saloons treating us well. We are on You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net, coming from the Vicious Pig. I want to talk to you guys about something I was thinking about this weekend, and that's comfort foods. When I hear the word comfort foods, I always, for some reason, I just think like something that is like comfortable, like it's cold outside and I'm going to eat something warm kind of a thing. But this weekend I was thinking about it. I was thinking about foods that I really, like I grew up with that my mom would make and stuff that I still make even today. I was, and then of course I thought about you guys, our little ship of fools here, and thought, well, maybe since you guys are from different areas from where I grew up and have different backgrounds, wondered what kind of comfort foods maybe you guys grew up with and stuff that you make, for your kids or when you got somebody over. So, Steve, you're the Mexican. Why don't you give us a little insight into your culture?
Oh, yeah, man. I love me some carnitas, man. Me and my wife have been getting down with different carnitas recipes where sometimes we'll try lard, sometimes we won't. We like throwing a lot of citrus in there, so some limes and some oranges and whatnot. And, we've done it in the slow cooker last couple times, and it's just been great. We've done it in the Dutch oven, too.
Nice one.
Which is, it just shreds the pork. And, I mean, if you guys never had carnitas, it's like kind of Mexican pulled pork, but it's not saucy. It's broken down by the liquids, yeah, but it just, you get this great pork flavor, nice saltiness. That's really outstanding. And the other one, my other second favorite comfort food, which this is all attributed to my wife and her Austrian grandmother's background, is schnitzel. I freaking love schnitzel, man. And it's so good because you can have it a bunch of different ways, but I'm a traditionalist in that regard. I like a nice pounded out chicken or turkey breast, and just breading with it, and fry that bad boy up. Squirt some lemon on top. Maybe have a cucumber salad on the side, and oh man, that's some good eats right there.
It's kind of like a, almost like chicken fried steak. It's like everybody. It's almost like every culture does something like that.
That's totally true because, in Hispanic and Latin cultures, it's Milanese. In Italy, it's Parmigiana. Chicken Parmigiana is the same kind of difference. Right. And it's just kind of like what kind of herbs you add to the bread coating mixture and whatnot. But I think everybody, all the different cultures across the board have kind of a interpretation of that kind of dish, and I guess it's comforting across the board.
What's funny is growing up with Wiener Schnitzel as one of my staple fast foods, and I never knew what schnitzel was. So when I found out what schnitzel was, I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I thought it'd be like some sort of sausage or some sort of something in that variety, but clearly it was not.
It's not.
Both are good, but when I ordered it, I was more in the mood for a chili dog.
Well, I have had your carnitas, Steve, and it's something else, I will say that. And I wasn't even drunk, like where I was just craving anything, so that was quite impressive.
Thank you.
It passed the sober test.
Well, let's drink to that.
There are two levels. Yeah, there you go. There are two levels of eating, I guess. There is that sober eating and that drunk eating. So.
Well, and then there's stoned eating. I guess there's kind of 4 levels. There's sober eating, There's stoned eating, then there's drunk eating, and then there's stoned and drunk eating, and that's that's where the marathon comes in.
Let's not forget just fucking hungry. Like, I'll eat whatever.
Oh, yeah, dude. I get a bad case of getting hangry, just so fucking pissed. I'm like, dude, I'm just starving, and I'm like starting to like get really irritable. Oh, man, that's the worst, dude. That's where comfort food comes into the rescue.
Yeah. Cav, what's yours? What do you have comfort-wise?
Well, comfort food to me is different because, it doesn't get that cold here, so as far as food being comforting in that regard, it's like, it's if it's hot outside, you still want comfort food. So for me, comfort food kind of is something that I would say harkens back to something from my youth, something that I grew up with, something that I liked when I was growing up. I don't think I've had them anywhere else. They're kind of unique, I guess, to my family. I'm sure other people make them. They're called shrimp scrolls, and what you do is you get the flat phyllo dough, the crescent dough roll, the crescent roll dough that you make with, the little crescent rolls.
Poppin' fresh.
Yeah. So you get one of those, the square ones, though, not the cut out ones. You mix those little baby shrimp with some other stuff and some cheese, some sour cream and other things. Use that as filling, and you spread it across the top of this thing, and then you roll it up like a joint. And then you cut them into like 2-inch. Every 2 inches you make a cut, and you put them into like a muffin tin, and you cook them in the oven like that. Pretty fucking good. And then it comes. You get like it's a shrimp sauce that we make with it, with the cream of shrimp soup. You put that sauce over the top of the scroll.
No, that sounds good. I mean, Poppin' Fresh, you can do a lot of good shit with Poppin' Fresh.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that sounds really good, Kevin. I would definitely try that, man. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, I'm trying to think, something that I've always had growing up. Let me first say that I don't think it's any secret. I am not a good cook, despite the fact that I'm all over Punk Rock Foodies and I post a lot. I'm not a good cook, so for me, it's going to be something real simple. A good peanut butter and banana sandwich with chunky peanut butter. But what I'll do is, and it's kind of a cliche, especially given what we do, if you add some crispy bacon, not the bendable, wet, greasy bacon, you make some crispy bacon, the crunchy stuff, and you put it in there, into a peanut butter and banana sandwich, it works. I don't know how, but with the peanut butter, it fucking works. Because I think when you make bacon, crunchy, it kind of has that sweet saltiness to it, and it fucking works with the peanut butter. So, and it also kind of makes me think. It makes me think of Elvis Presley, because that was his favorite sandwich, and Elvis Presley makes me think of Danzig. And by the way, Danzig is recording. I don't know if you guys knew, he's recording or just recorded an album of Elvis Presley covers.
Fucking stoked for that.
And I think that's fucking awesome. So anyway, yeah, peanut butter and banana sandwich with some bacon in there.
I've done the peanut butter and bacon, which is awesome, and I've done the peanut butter and banana, also good, but I've never done peanut butter, banana, and bacon all together. I gotta try that one.
Hey, real quick, what are some of the rad comfort foods that you guys have seen that some of our other members have posted?
That's a tough question, because I think comfort foods are something that's more personal. It's something that you grew up with and that you find comfort in. Kev, you said about the fact that it doesn't get cold. That was originally what I thought of when I would think comfort food. But this weekend I was just thinking about it, and I was thinking about a meal that my mom used to make, and I was like, wait, that has nothing to do with whether it's cold out. It is just something that you find comfort in, and that so to say whether somebody's posted something that's comfort food, I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't live their life,
Although I have seen another comfort food of mine is tortilla soup. I love tortilla soup. And I've seen, one of the things I've seen with Punk Rock Foodies is there's been a lot of variations of tortilla soup thrown up there, and all of them look damn good.
But then again, that goes back to the fact that that's one of your comfort foods, so you're just seeing other people's recipes.
Exactly. When asked to identify what my favorite that I'd seen on the site would be something that I would identify with.
Yeah, dude, it's supposed to be 90 degrees here over the weekend, or at least tomorrow. I'll tell you what, man, Micah Garcia's ice cream looks comforting as fuck. I would manhandle his flavors, man. God, that dude's on fire.
He needs to make a shrimp scroll ice cream. I think Kevin would be all over that.
Didn't you have the horchata ice cream with the
homemade
churros in there?
Too.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's following it up with like a Sailor Jerry ice cream too. Like, dude, that's just that's putting it down, man. He's really he's impressed me, and I think that it kind of shows what this page and what we're all about. Just pushing creativity and like having a good time with it, being inventive, never taking yourself seriously, but like just kind of really just getting after it.
Definitely. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net. We're going to take a quick break here. This is Pennywise, Homesick.
I walk down my street, you see me home in the end. Now there's spray paint on the walls. I see a house that at one time looked nice, but now it is abandoned. There's nothing left at all. So why, must we let our chances fly? And when, will we ever see home again? And why, is it so hard to say goodbye? Oh well, at least I can still remember when our city used to be such a beautiful place. But now you can't walk down the street and things don't seem to say. My hands are in the air, it makes no sense to me. And I cannot explain this tragedy. My first trip to the city, I remember thinking that the buildings look so tall. And when I see them miles off the ground to shut the city rabbit, they seem rather small. So why, must we let our chances fly? And when, will we ever see home again? And why, is it so hard to say goodbye? Oh well, at least I can still remember when our city used to be such a beautiful place. But now you can't walk down the street and things don't seem the same. My hands are in the air, it makes no sense to me. And I cannot explain this tragedy. Feels like I'm living in someone else's dream. Doesn't seem as if the way that things should be. It's like a darkness swallowed up humanity. Whatever it is, it's beyond. Hey! Homesickness is the flu that surrounds me. A virus spreading through the street, it astounds me. Homesickness! The city used to be such a beautiful place, but now you can't walk down the street and things don't seem the same. My hands are in the air, it makes no sense to me, and I cannot explain this tragedy.
What if I'm right and you are wrong? What if you knew it all along? What if I figured out that I did not belong? What if it always bothered me? What if I never did believe? Would it be wrong if I decided I should live? If I pretended I was blind and struck it from my mind, would it still be there? What if I knew anything And what if it always bothered me? What if I never did believe? Would it be wrong if I decided I should leave?
All right, and that was Blind by Rise Against. I believe that's a face-to-face cover, but they do a great version. We're talking comfort foods here on Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net from the Vicious Pig Saloon in downtown Mattersville. We got Steve, Kevin's, and Brian's. Now I'm going to talk about my comfort foods. There's two, actually. One my mom used to make all the time, and I still have yet to ever make it. She makes it for my daughters, and that's rice and milk. And if you couldn't guess the ingredients, are rice, and milk. Yeah.
But you got to do it backwards.
There is also butter, but that's kind of a form of milk. So, and I don't know how she makes it.
Why not just call it rice, milk, butter?
Well, then that's just too many syllables. But I don't know. There was something about that. It was like always when my mom would make like Chinese food on Friday night, then like Saturday for lunch, I had rice and milk because there was always leftover white rice. But I don't know. It was something she made, and I really enjoyed. But the one big one that I still make, I make for my girls all the time, is Lithuanian spaghetti. My great grandmother, who's 103 years old, still alive. She's from Lithuania. I know, and her sister died at 100, so you fuckers better watch out. I'm going to be around for a while. But I'm a dude. I'm a dude, so I'll fuck it up somehow. But it's a very simple recipe. It's a tablespoon of butter with some diced up onion, and you saute the onion, and then you add a can of tomato paste, and then the tomato paste can's worth of water, and some salt, pepper, maybe just less than a tablespoon of sugar, and that's the sauce. It's kind of thick. Cook up some spaghetti, and then just mix it and just coats the noodles. And I don't know, I mean, I just remember my mom making that growing up, and I made it in college, and I still make it to this day. And every time, when I see a can of tomato paste, that's all I think about. It's like, oh, I can make that. It's simple, it's quick, it's comforting. Hence the word. Comfort food.
Well, there you go. Lithuanian spaghetti.
Lithuanian spaghetti, yep. But so there's comfort foods. Are there comfort drinks? I mean, beer, man.
Oh man, they're all comfort drinks.
I hope your mom wasn't mixing you drinks when you were little.
No, believe it or not, it skipped generations. Both my grandparents were heavy drinkers, but my parents aren't, and now I'm here.
Lucky, you got lucky kids, though, I guess.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah, but no, I like a good stout. You know, like a nice big Russian Imperial stout. I actually have a Baltic Porter in my fridge right now from Crooked Line Brewery. Can't wait to crack that open. I think that's going to be pretty good. But yeah, like the Stone Imperial Stout is really good. Been dying to get my hands on some Founders and Cigar City stouts, but those just aren't available on this on the West Coast. So maybe I can get some Punk Rock Foodies to do a little beer exchange. But yeah, a big, robust, malty, roasty stout is that's good stuff for me. What about you, Kevin? What about you? What are you drinking when you need some comfort in your life?
I don't know. I have a couple different beverages in mind, but really my go-to, at the end of a night, end of a good meal, the thing that really tops it off would just be like a simple glass of, Johnny Black Scotch. Just a couple ice cubes, a couple fingers of Scotch, and
can't go wrong with that.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know about comfort drinks. I mean, my dad used to drink Manhattans my entire life growing up, and I would always go diving for cherries.
Hey-o.
And my dad would turn and look, and there'd be bourbon all over the table. So I do enjoy bourbon. I do enjoy Manhattan. Gin, that's more like a winter thing, and like gin and tonic is like a summer thing. It's like, I mean, you guys have summer and summer, so you won't understand as much as.
That's a lie. We have
Brian
spring and summer.
3 weeks of spring.
Dude, Dude, it was like 65 the other day, bro. It was freezing.
I had to scrape a quarter inch of ice off my car the other morning. So, all right. Brian, you got a comfort drink there?
For me, the closest thing I can come to a comfort drink would have to be just a simple mimosa. I don't really drink much booze anymore. I drink beer every day, literally. So, but I've kind of given up. My body doesn't really take booze anymore, so I've kind of disregarded that. But I can still do a mimosa. Me and the lady will start mimosas at 8 a.m. and we'll go all day. All that orange juice gives me heartburn, but fucking whatever. Yeah, so for me it would have to be a mimosa. That's as exciting as I can get on this topic. Another thing I wanted to talk about this week and ask you guys regarding the Punk Rock Foodies site or page and kind of how it works there. A couple friends have asked me how it works with us, the admins, as far as banning people and, you know, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. How do you guys kind of explain to the listeners how that works? To me, it's an excuse to use the word defenestrate. I love that word. But so far, basically any kind of racism, that'll get you out. Any kind of, if you're a dick for no reason, I mean, we give each other shit, but if you're a dick, you know, you're fucking out of here. And if you're just there to pimp your shit, if you're just there to pimp your band or your website or your blog and you don't really contribute anything, to me that'll get you kicked out real quick. What do you guys think? Because I just think this is an opportunity to clarify that for people who maybe don't know how it works. What do you guys think?
You know, Brian pretty much covered everything right there, I would say. Just to emphasize it, like there's certain, you know, obviously you get the spammers who post their shoes and all that stuff, and those obviously get booted. But then there's the people who, they never chime in. They never say anything about food. They never post any of their own food. But they post some random video of their band. And, you know, often, you know, it's an okay band. It's, you know, it's never, like, god-awful. But they just never post anything other than that. And that's going to get you booted every time. And then the people who always post those Pinterest articles about things that they think look cool and too lazy to try themselves. Like, oh, here, doesn't this look cool? Now I'm going to go do something else. No, fucking make it and then show me how cool it was when you made it. Don't make me experiment with your stupid thing that you found out online. I'm the guinea pig. Fuck that. You be the guinea pig and show me how it works.
Hey, I'm just here for the chicks.
I agree. I agree with Brian. You know, for obviously racism, that's, you know, one of the ethoses of punk rock is, you know, no racism. Yes, we do fuck with each other on a constant basis, but it's more of a brotherly, you know, ribbing, if you will, ball busting, and you know we'll dish. We can take it as much as we dish it out. I mean, we've been accused of being bullies, and and you know that's fine. That's what you think. I mean, you can't. You know, nothing is ever meant in a mean way. Just, you know, you got to have a thick skin to get fucked with, and we fuck with you. I agree. You know, like I said, racism, you're booted the fuck out and blocked. Start trying to sell shit, you're out. We don't need your Pinterest and recipes that you Google searched. We can Google search too. You know, obviously this is all in the computer. We know how to get on Pinterest. And honest, and then like as far as advertising your shit, like I don't mind so much. You know, like Kev, you put up some articles every now and then, and that's fine. You know, I've actually had members email me and say, "Hey, is it okay if I do this?" And typically, I don't mind. You know, unless that's all you're doing, like Kevin said. You know, I mean, this is a food page, even though it does say punk rock. It is food too. So. I don't know. Steve, you got anything to add to that? Or?
Nah, man, I just say the same thing you guys are saying, and the only thing I'd add is, you know, kind of, it really bugs me when, like, you know, because we have, like, 2,000 members, and a lot of members are kind of, you know, they don't post, and that's cool, but there's a couple knuckleheads who, like, troll comment sections, and it's just like, dude, what the fuck are you bringing, man, besides your piss-poor attitude? That just bugs me, but, you know, I'm not going to kick somebody off for that, but, you know, it's just like, dude, if you're gonna bring it, then, you know, come down to the table with the plate of food. Don't just sit in the sidelines and, you know, heckle. You know, like, we all got tough skin, but I mean, if that's all you're gonna bring is just fucking your mouth, and you know, I don't want to hear it. You know, I'm sure you three guys don't want to hear it either. So,
fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. It's funny that you say that. Like, I've been doing that vegan thing once a week. It was just, I don't know. It's about partially about health and partially about being creative. And Annie DeTemple of Old Man Markley, who we actually are going to have on the show soon, commented and said she was really happy. She was about to leave the group, but was really happy to see some vegan stuff. Now, she doesn't post anything. She's not part of it, but she sees the stuff. And so, you know, it's fine if you don't post. But like Steve said, don't be a dick and just comment and tell people that their stuff looks like shit.
I mean,
that's what I have to say.
You wouldn't go to a punk show and, you know, stand on the sidelines and then just run into the pit and just tag somebody and then run out. You know, you're either in the pit or you're not. You know,
that's a perfect analogy.
It's fucking GA all day for me, man. I'm fucking. You'll see me down there sweaty and fucking getting after it, but you know, I'm not a cheap shot artist.
Exactly. Right on.
All right, well, on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Steve, we're going to be playing Lowbrow, is that correct? Who is it? What is this we're playing?
Yeah. I believe the song is called, let me look it up real quick. Oh, yeah, Locked Doors and Bulletproof Glass. This is from Lowbrow's album. I think it's about 2 years old now. They're in the studio recording a new album. They're freaking amazing. They're an Orange County band, and if you guys haven't checked them out, you guys are about to check them out right here, right now, on Punk Rock Foodie Radio.
Hey, when we get back, Joe Escalante from the Vandals.
population running out of time. Running out of time. This is just a punk rock song, written for the people who can see something's wrong. I can't say the colony, we do our share, but there's so many other fucking insects out there. This is just a punk rock song. Figures don't lie, they speak of human disease, but we do what we want and we think what we please. 105 kids below the poverty line, one population running out of time. This is just a punk rock song. This is just a punk rock song. This is just a punk rock song.
That was Bad Religion with a punk rock song off the album The Grey Race. And right now we've got a special guest joining us, Mr. Joe Escalante from the Vandals. Hey Joe, how are you doing today?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm actually in Los Angeles, and we're doing an interview about Australia.
You don't sound very Australian.
I didn't think so. With this show, how did the Vandals find themselves playing Soundwave Festival?
Well, there's a band called Lagwagon on the tour. So we kind of identify ourselves with that world, but they throw some punk rock in, they throw some metal in, and I think it just we spent a fair amount of time in Australia, but there's not a great way to get us to Australia and play the kind of shows that the normal shows that we would play at like punk rock clubs and stuff.
Right.
So when the opportunity came, it just seems like there's not enough interest to support, like headlining shows. But there's certainly these work out really well for us.
Okay.
And the kind of we do some kind of headlining shows, but this seems to work better for us. So I went into AJ Mata at Coachella a couple years ago, and then we were just talking about it and said, hey, you guys should come on Soundwave. And then that next year we went on Soundwave, and I guess that was 2013. And then we're back.
And here you go.
I was surprised that we're back so soon.
Now, are you guys going to be doing any
Yeah.
shows around this? Like, are there going to be more Australian shows, headlining shows down there?
Well, there's supposed to be these sideways, but so we haven't been told what sideways we would be playing.
Okay.
So we haven't been told. I mean, it'd be cool to do some shows with the Aquabats and something like that. But we're it's kind of too bad that they haven't that we're doing these interviews before we find that out. But that's the truth.
Right.
They're supposed to tell us like any minute now. They're supposed to tell us.
Okay. Are there any bands other than the punk bands that maybe some people would be surprised to know that you're looking forward to seeing at Soundwave?
That's a very good question. Let me look at my list. Okay, well, ever since I was a child, I always wanted to see Fall Out Boy. That's my joke. I like Fall Out Boy, actually. But let's see. But that's probably a better answer. Ever since I was a child, I always wanted to see Fall Out Boy.
I like that.
But, let's see. Like Judas Priest. Who doesn't want to see Judas Priest?
There you go.
Yeah, everyone wants to see Judas Priest. And then the band Metal Stage closes. We have long been fans of them. It's another joke. It's not very funny. Because it says on my schedule, Metal Stage closes during one lineup, so that one's not that great. But let's see. I'm looking at the other day that we're not on, like Soundgarden. Here's an interesting story. The last time we played with Soundgarden, they opened for us in a club in Seattle.
Oh wow, that must have been late '80s.
Just a couple months ago.
Oh really?
It was probably 80. It was probably 88, 89, probably something like that.
Wow.
88. Yeah, probably 88. Well, no, wait. Before I went to law school in 1986. So before that, it'd be like 85 or something.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
No, wait. No, wait a second. I went to law school in 89. Sorry. So, yeah, it would be 88, 89, something like that. 88. Probably 88.
Okay.
And then everyone else on the, on our, obviously Judas Priest, we were all going to want to see them.
Okay. Will Josh Freese be playing with any other bands on the festival?
Josh Freese is playing with every other band except for ours. So, yeah, no, he just played with us in Iowa, and I guess that was enough. He has some Sublime shows to play, so we're going to use the drummer for Alkaline Trio, Peter Grant.
Oh, nice. When you guys go down to Australia, what kind of food do you like to eat? Like, what's some of the local stuff that you have found is good?
Oh, I like kangaroo byproducts.
What's your favorite way to eat kangaroo?
Well, I like a kangaroo stew. I think the best thing I've had with kangaroo meat in it. I had a good stew once, and other than that, they got good food there. But as far as Australian food, I don't even know what that is.
Any koala burgers?
Other than the kangaroo.
No. How about
what do they got?
Yeah, Vegemite, right?
Yeah, well, and that doesn't interest me. Our guitar player, Warren, he gets into the cultures in that way, and then but he won't eat the Vegemite. He'll squeeze it all over his body, and he's got he'll have it crusted on his clothes for days, but he won't really eat it.
He immerses himself in the local flavors.
Yeah, he does, and that's a true story.
Now, what are your thoughts on playing these huge festivals where there's, the fans are arranging, kind of all over the place versus playing a festival where it's strictly punk dedicated, like Riot Fest, or like a punk rock bowling? Would you prefer to play,
right,
or do you prefer to play, where you're seeing, you have new ears in front of you?
Yeah, I think we've done a lot of winning over fans, like for even a half hour to play. We've toured with Pearl Jam and No Doubt and Offspring on just regular tours where you're just playing for their audience, and you got to go out there and win them over. And we're kind of shameless in that respect, and we do it. And so we don't mind playing these big shows. I like them. I like the stuff that I can see these other bands, and you're in a hotel with the guys in Slayer, or you're on an airplane with Slash or Duff or Marilyn Manson. So that's kind of fun. Or like we played a metal festival in Montreal last year with Baby Metal. Have you heard of these girls?
No.
The band Baby Metal?
No, never heard of them.
Have you haven't heard of them? Okay, well let me tell you, I'm gonna change your life, because when this interview's done, you're gonna go look them up. Baby Metal from Japan.
Okay.
And being backstage with them and going to watch them on a metal festival, that's a lot of fun. It's good. It's nice if everybody knows your material, but we don't require that.
Right. Now, you guys have had the Hollywood Potato Chip Tour has been going now for 10 years. Would you say that this is the longest a band has toured on one album?
That's pretty. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, we're not done. There's a few more markets to hit.
But in all seriousness, though, is there a new Vandals record you've talked about, or anything in the works, or?
Well, we recorded a few songs, and it just seems to just drag on and on. It's kind of like Josh Freese when he worked on Chinese Democracy. Mm-hmm. He learned a lot from that experience, so we're just kind of taking a little bit of what he learned from the Chinese Democracy thing. We're doing it, and we're putting that into practice with our album. So I think maybe we're going a little bit longer than them, but eventually we'll wrap it up. But we have recorded, we're in the studio recording stuff we're making stuff. We just haven't really put it all together to release an album. We did release one track to the Soundwave people for their Soundwave compilation.
Okay.
So there will be a new track that on that unreleased until this time.
Okay. Well, awesome.
One song in 10 years.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You know,
not bad.
That works. Well, Joe, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio on punkrockradio.net. Here's a little band with Ian McKay and Al Jorgensen from Ministry. This is called Palehead. The song is called I Will Refuse.
All right, thanks, Kev. That's it for us. I'd like to thank Brian and Steve joining us. I'd like to thank the people at the Vicious Pig Saloon, downtown Mattersville, for having us. Special thanks to the awesome Joe Escalante of the Vandals. Thanks to the boys down under, punkrockradio.net. Also check out Burning Rose Studios and MRF Records. And also remember that tickets for Punk Rock Foodies Sausage Fest are available. There's a link on the Punk Rock Foodies Radio Facebook page. You'll have to scroll down a little bit. And there's also a link to the Sample Platter compilation of some of the bands that are going to be playing at the Sausage Fest. And that is at the View in Newhall, California on February 21st. And of course, obviously, check out Punk Rock Foodies on Facebook. Bone Ape Tit, everyone.
To the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't want to shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no hide, except for that one with the yellowy eyes. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going big, a nuclear error. But I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river. The ice is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going big, a nuclear error, but I have no fear, cause London is drowning. I live by the river. Now get this! London calling, yes, I was there too. And you know what they said? Well, some of it was true. London calling at the top of the dial.